Greetings, everyone. If you have a fondness for Harry and Meghan, this may not be the place for you. I've been running this channel for more than now, and little seems to surprise me anymore. Today is no exception. Yesterday, Netflix released The Heart of Invictus, produced by Prince Harry himself. While it was intended to spotlight veterans, the discussion has veered elsewhere due to Harry's personal revelations. Once more, it's not about the veterans as it should be. Instead, it's centered around Harry himself, playing the victim, lamenting about receiving no aid, and evading the primary focus on veterans. This, in turn, is being perceived as another assault on his family, despite assurances some months back about ceasing such attacks. Clearly, that commitment didn't hold up. To play devil's advocate, some might argue that Harry's remarks were made without much forethought. However, considering his position and the inevitable scrutiny, he ought to exercise more caution with his words. He's well aware that not just the British media but the global press meticulously analyzes everything he says. Any falsehoods or inconsistencies will undoubtedly be exposed. And that's precisely what has transpired. Firstly, he claims to have lacked a support system upon returning from his service in Afghanistan. He asserts that the trauma stemming from his mother's, Princess Diana's, death was never addressed. A theme he recurrently incorporates into his narrative. It begs the question, what relevance does this have? His constant revisiting of that tragic event, exploiting it for sympathy and attention, is disheartening. He asserts that only after returning from the war did he realize the enduring trauma from Diana's passing in 1997 when he was just 12 years old. Today marks 26 years since Diana's demise, a moment etched in everyone's memory. Its shockwaves were profound. However, Harry's continual use of her death as a manipulation tool for sympathy is unsettling. He claims that upon returning from Afghanistan in 2008, he lacked a support network and professional guidance to identify his inner struggles. His depiction of finding himself in a fetal position, wishing he had sought therapy earlier, seems somewhat reminiscent of Meghan Markle's narratives. Their stories often seem parallel. In 2017, Harry spoke on Bryony Gordon's Mad World podcast, highlighting his brother William's support in nudging him toward seeking help. He even mentioned William's letter expressing how proud Diana would be of Harry's service in Afghanistan. This contradicts his recent statements about lacking support. It appears he did receive substantial encouragement, including ideas for the Invictus Games, which stemmed from the Warrior Games. It's clear he received assistance within the royal family's institution. Establishing such an event isn't a solitary endeavor. Undoubtedly, the Invictus Games is a commendable concept, contributing significantly. However, attaching Harry's personal victimization narrative seems to hijack the spotlight from the veterans. His constant references to his trauma and the involvement of Diana appear misplaced, overshadowing the event's core purpose. Additionally, Harry's linking of his struggles not only to Afghanistan, but also to his mother's passing seems misguided. While losing a parent at any age is traumatic, his continuous emphasis on this aspect feels exploitative. Moreover, let's not disregard the substantial paycheck he's likely receiving from Netflix. This isn't a philanthropic endeavor, it's a lucrative venture while many veterans face dire circumstances. Ultimately, the primary conversation should revolve around supporting veterans rather than Harry's personal narrative. Unfortunately, his continuous rehashing of personal trauma seems to overshadow the genuine cause at hand. Lives a life steeped in privilege, with no shortage of resources or shelter. The assertion is made that despite being positioned in circumstances that safeguarded him significantly, he was involved in activities that appeared to pose risks. However, the claim stands that anyone genuinely believing he faced actual danger must be deluding themselves. He is referred to as Bunker Harry for the level of protection afforded to him. A video is mentioned as a reference to these claims. A former Afghanistan commander's appearance on a show hosted by Piers Morgan is highlighted in the discourse. Colonel Richard Kemp in this appearance raises doubts about the level of stress the individual experienced during his time of service. It's emphasized that this skepticism is part of a larger effort not to rehabilitate the image of Prince Harry. There is a strong indication that the perception of danger and stress faced by the grandson of the monarch was significantly different from the experiences of other soldiers in Afghanistan. The emphasis is placed on Prince Harry's potential to contribute mainly to public relations and garner attention for the valorous soldiers, potentially leading to financial and medical support for veterans. Critical attention is directed at statements made by Prince Harry, specifically regarding media coverage of British soldiers wounded in Afghanistan. The commentary opposes his claims, stating that media coverage of such events was comprehensive and vividly remembered. The speaker disputes Prince Harry's assertion that the British media neglected to cover these incidents and expresses dissatisfaction with his apparent anger towards the media. Further scrutiny is placed on Prince Harry's statements regarding secrecy surrounding his deployment to Afghanistan. Contradictory claims regarding media involvement and breaches of secrecy are highlighted, asserting that the revelation of his presence in Afghanistan was not the doing of the British press, but rather other outlets like the American Drudge Report and New Idea from Australia. The discussion touches upon an agreement involving the British Army, Buckingham Palace, and the British press to maintain a media blackout regarding Prince Harry's presence in Afghanistan, which was reportedly breached by non-British media outlets. The commentator expresses frustration at what is perceived as Prince Harry's consistent falsehoods and inaccuracies in his statements. Challenges are raised concerning Prince Harry's credibility, suggesting a lack of fact-checking or deliberate misinformation in his statements. The commentator voices skepticism regarding Prince Harry's motivations, asserting that his actions might be a calculated public relations strategy to enhance his image and indirectly improve his wife's public perception. The discussion then shifts to Prince Harry's alleged absence from a Royal Marines Memorial event, which he was invited to attend, but reportedly did not, choosing instead to attend the premiere of The Lion King. This absence is contrasted with his role as the Captain General of the Royal Marines, leading to criticism of his priorities and commitment. The commentary urges viewers to contemplate whether Prince Harry's behavior is indicative of genuine trauma, or if it is perceived as continual complaints and jabs at various individuals and institutions. The speaker invites the audience to share their thoughts on Prince Harry's actions and statements, seeking their opinions on his behavior and the issues raised in the discussion. In closing, the commentator acknowledges and appreciates support from viewers, expressing gratitude for their contributions through the platform's Super Thanks feature. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.